Good evening. It's harder for assertive, ambitious women to be seen as likable and easier to conclude that they lack some intangible quality of leadership. Men remain threatened by assertive women. When women negotiate for change, they are labeled intimidating, bossy, or aggressive. The problem with values like respect and courage is that everyone perceives them differently. They are too ambiguous and open to interpretation. Instead of uniting us, they can cause friction. As a female in ICT, I had to be better than men to be considered equal. I believe women are never taught to fight for themselves. We tend to be brought up thinking life is fair and that you thrive and deliver and the rest will take care of itself. It does not work like that in reality. With reference to the above, can you define a set of values to shape the culture of an organization towards embracing women, and are there some practices to test them? Thank you.
Who wants to tackle that one first? Tim's got some thoughts.
So I'll share the thoughts. I don't know that I have answers, but that's the spirit of the conversation. Look, any word can be interpreted in different ways, and so no matter what list of words we came up with, it would be possible for them to be construed in ways that is constructive, or equally possible for them to be construed in ways that block change. On the way over, I was stuck in traffic, which is why you all got 2 drinks, not 1 tonight.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah. And I was listening to the Senate debate on the Same-Sex Marriage Act and hearing people who were clearly going to vote no in the Senate argue how that is out of respect of human rights. And it was just, like, it's a fascinating turn for me. That's not how I would be voting if I was in the Senate, and I'll make that position clear to everyone. But it was fascinating to me hearing the words put out there and then hearing a logic and rationale interpreted from them, and I think that they genuinely believe the position that they were coming from. So no matter what words we chose as values, I think they could be interpreted in ways that lead to the outcome that you talk of. For me, it's actually about intent. And so it's what sits beneath the words. And it's one of the reasons why I do think that setting goals and measuring and saying that's where we're going. We've made the decision, we understand the science, we understand the logic, we understand why it's going to be good for our clients and good for our business. So we've made the decision, we're going there. And it's actually the intent of people to get there. And so we have a set of values at MYOB. We talk about them openly. The highest score we get on our team engagement surveys are, I know the MYOB values, I know how to live the MYOB values. But it's genuinely about the intent. So I don't think you can just put values out there. I think you've got to put values, you've got to put goals, and you've got to have the intent to leverage those values to achieve those goals. And if all you do is have good intention and put some words out there and say their values, they will be left up to interpretation, and people will interpret them differently. If you actually say that's where we're headed and we're going to measure against that, and these values are a way to help us get there, but they're not the means to the end, they're the path to get there, they're not the end point, then you're more likely to have the values interpreted in the way that they were intended to be interpreted. I don't know if that helps.
Values being lived. Other questions? Other answers?
Even
if you have a question standing here.
So, Data 61 is relatively young, 18 months old. 2 very different cultures coming together to form a single culture. And I think for the organisation, as I'm out talking with people, the most important thing that I think we've done okay in pockets but not consistently is to, when it comes to values, make sure that there is a shared understanding of intent and then also consequences for not living the values day to day. And it's not, I don't broadcast it, but we've exited people who don't align with values that we've defined already within Data 61, but it's going to be a big focus. It is important to create that culture and that environment where everyone can thrive.